What's good, y'all? This 30 Mugger Boxing. Appreciate all the people that hit the like button and subscribe button and support the channel overall. We're going to talk about this weekend fights. Guillermo Rigondeaux lost a split decision to Casimero. Virgil Ortiz knocked out Kavaliauskas in the 8th round. But we're going to start with the Casimero versus Rigondeaux fight. I watched that whole fight. Rigondeaux did a lot of he had a lot of movement, you know. He used the whole entire ring. Ain't really get active with his hands like that. He was trying to pot shot and counter punch Casimero every once in a while, but he left a lot on the table. Early on, Casimero hit Rigondeaux in the back of his head. I think it was the second round. Winded up dropping Rigondeaux, and then he hit him while he was on the ground. And the ref gave him a warning for that. Rigondeaux might have been a little hurt from that situation, and he hopped on his bike the rest of the fight. He hurt Rigondeaux. He hurt Casimero a couple times, but he never really capitalized on it. He was too busy trying to be safe and be defensively sound, which he was. He made Casimero look real bad in there. Casimero ended up in between the ropes one time. His punches was hitting the ropes, and he was throwing body shots. They wasn't even touching Rigondeaux. Missing with his head shots. Rigondeaux was ducking over his left hook. Was ducking under his left hook. There was a lot of high level activity going in there from Rigondeaux. And if you're not a hardcore boxing fan, you probably wouldn't appreciate the skill level he showed in there. Me personally, I feel as though Rigondeaux won 9 rounds to 3, 117, 111. But the judges didn't feel that way. The judges scored it for Casimero, split decision. So that means one judge had it 115, 113 for Rigondeaux. But the fix was in, man. There was no way Rigondeaux was going to win that fight unless he knocked him out. And he could have knocked him out, but the mentality wasn't there. He felt something from Casimero, and he didn't want to go through that again. So, Rigondeaux is pretty much done on a mainstream level. He had this fight at first, and they tried to replace him with Donaire. So, he was a late replacement again. This fight was only on for like 2 weeks with Rigondeaux, and he put on a hell of a show. But we'll probably never see Rigondeaux again in a boxing ring, and it sucks, man. Because I like Rigondeaux as a fighter. Good fighter, good footwork. He might come in there. He came in there and banged versus Julio Ceja, and that was the Rigondeaux that Casimero was expecting, that he hoped for. But, Rigondeaux went back to his old ways and circled around the ring and basically made it a 12-round amateur fight. So, Casimero, there's more money into him winning the belt, retaining his belt. It's his second defense of that title, and he got big things on the way. He got Inouye coming up, Nonito Donaire coming up. It's a lot of opportunities for him in the division. Them two names in particular, and they fan-friendly fights. Casimero don't take a step back. Donaire will take a step back, but he very aggressive with his counterpunching opportunities. He's not gonna leave nothing on the table, and he gonna really swing for the fences. And Donaire got pop in his hands. Casimero got pop in his hands. And Inouye the same way. Very fast fighter, moved up multiple divisions already. Powerful guy. So those are more interesting fights than if Rigondeaux would have won the belt. Rigondeaux already beat Donaire, and Inouye, it's just not as exciting. So I see why they robbed him. But in boxing, I just wish it was just honest judges, where you could just fight. And if you win 7 rounds to 5, if you win 7 clear rounds, no matter what your name is, you should be able to get a decision. But we already know boxing is a popularity contest, and Casimero is the more popular fighter. But moving on, we're going to talk about this Virgil Ortiz and Kavaliauskas fight. I like the fight. I wound up seeing the fight late on the replay. But I seen Virgil Ortiz get hurt in the second or third round. Kavaliauskas dropped him, in my opinion, but they called it a slip. But But Virgil Ortiz wound up weathering the storm, and he came out there and did what he was supposed to do. Displayed good boxing ability, hit behind the jab. He pressured Kavaliauskas all night long, and Kavaliauskas' weakness is he can't keep the pace. He can't keep up with a high pace. So if you push the pace and you put him on the back foot and you touch him down to the body, you're gonna stop Kavaliauskas. If you're a power puncher as well, you can't. But you gotta throw something at Kavaliauskas that he gonna respect in order for him to go backwards. So he's a come forward fighter as well. But I was very impressed with Virgil Ortiz. I wasn't impressed with him before this fight because he fought, Maurice Hooker and Herrera. I think he fought Herrera as well, and they 140-pounders blown up. So I wasn't really impressed with that. This is the first time he really fought a 147-pounder. As we know, as a contender that fought Crawford December 2019, gave him a tough fight. Dropped Crawford as well, but they called that a slip too. So Kavaliauskas just got bad luck. When he get in the ring, man, they just call everything a slip. They call knockdown slips. So, but shout out to Kavaliauskas though, man, hell of a fighter for even taking this fight. Because he was with Top Rank, and he a top 10 contender. Virgil Ortiz, shout out to him too for stepping up and taking on a challenge. You got to like these young guys, man. You got Virgil Ortiz, Boots. Jerron Ennis, Boots. The young fighters, man, they really on their thing. They don't really on their shit right now. They want all the smoke. And a lot of the fans are saying they not ready for Terrence Crawford. They not ready for Errol Spence. They not ready for Sean. But these dudes want the smoke, so let them figure it out themselves. If they begging for these fights and they want to make them happen, let them get up in there and see what they can do. I have no problem with Virgil Ortiz fighting Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford, I feel as though he's gonna beat him. He might. I feel as though he's gonna stop him. But Virgil Ortiz got a chance. He's a pressure fighter. Crawford has never really fought a pressure fighter other than Jeff Horn, and Felix Diaz. But we already know what happened to them. But Virgil Ortiz would be the best pressure fighter that Terrence Crawford ever fought in his career. So I want to see it. And, I feel like boxing fans should want to see the fight as well. Stop trying to determine if guys are ready or not. If dudes want the smoke in boxing, I'm all for it because it's too many fighters in boxing that don't want the smoke. It's dudes avoiding fights that's at the top level. Top fighters in a division avoiding other top fighters in the division. So anybody that want the smoke, I'm all for it. Test yourself. Take challenges like the older fighters used to do back in the day. Bring back the life to boxing because boxing is dying right now. People, they charge you $75 for Pacquiao and Ugas this Saturday. And, Pacquiao is coming off a 2-year layoff. He got a hell of a name. He's a legend. But, the average non-boxing fan don't know who Yordenis Ugas is. The average boxing fan don't even know who Yordenis Ugas is. That's only hardcore fans know who he is. So to put $75 on that price tag and not compensate the fans at all for Errol Spence dropping out the fight is straight blasphemy to me, and it's giving a bad eye to the sport of boxing. But these guys don't care, man. They got to get their money. It's a business, and the fans is getting fucked way too much. I don't really like it, but let me know what y'all think about these two fights in the comments. I would love to hear y'all feedback. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe button. Study Mugger Boxing. We go.